Sure. Once I arrived on scene, I saw that there was a group of people standing around the car. I could tell that there were still subjects underneath the car. I also noticed that there was a floor jack that had been utilized to raise the car up a few inches. Got down on the ground and started trying to assess the scene to see what we could do to remove the subjects from under the car. I saw that the grandmother was blue in the face and having a really difficult time breathing. I looked to see what we could do to get the child out, if we could just get them out immediately. There was a citizen there that started pulling on the stroller. It wasn't coming free. I tried to unbuckle the strap holding the child in. When that was not successful, we needed a knife to cut it free, so we started working on that. In the meantime, I went up back to the grandmother and tried to figure out why she was having a hard time breathing, how restricted she was underneath the car. I discovered that there's the grocery bags that had been attached to the stroller were now pinned between the grandmother's chest and the car. I was able to start removing those items, which allowed her to start getting a more complete breath. Once they got the child out from the stroller, we began working on cutting the items free to remove the stroller itself, which then allowed us to remove the grandmother. So,
how fortunate are they right now that you were there, that people were there, and immediately something?
they're extremely fortunate. There was the young man that had the presence of mind to get his floor jack and lift that car. I sincerely believe that without him taken those actions, I don't think the grandmother would have lived long enough for me to even get there to help her the rest of the way. And so that was vitally important. And then obviously the firemen on the other side trying to help us cut this stuff out, and it was just a huge team effort. And then getting them to the hospital as quickly as they did, that was amazing effort. I'm very thankful that they are still alive and still have the opportunity to hopefully spend the Christmas with their families, because when they took them from the scene, I wasn't sure that was going to happen.
What was it like when you could hear the video of the child screaming, which in this situation I imagine is a bit of a relief.
Yes.
So what was that like hearing that child?
When I first started trying to assess their condition and she wasn't crying or making any noise, I was very concerned. When she reacted to us trying to move her, that to me was a good sign. I recognized that it wasn't pleasant for her, but I was happy she was still alive at that point, so that gave me a lot of encouragement to try to keep working. And I think if you watch the video, there's at one point somebody asked if they're breathing, and I was very clear, like, they're both breathing. We've got to get them out. Let's go. I don't know how I said it, but I know that was urgent to me to get them out because they still were breathing, and that was the important thing.
I wonder, how is it even possible that maybe people made it out of that situation? Did the car not actually make impact with her?
I don't know if I could watch a video of how that happened and understand it. The position that they were in under that car, 28 years of law enforcement, I don't, I've never seen anything like it, so I don't know how to even explain that.
Any other questions?
Had you ever been involved in something like this before in your 28 years?
I've been to some horrific car crashes. I've been involved with a lot of things. So I've been to high stress situations, if you want to call it that. This one, it was precarious because the jack was on a very thin little piece of metal on that, and I know I bumped it twice, and people kept telling me, I kept hearing somebody say, hey, watch the jack, and I know both times I bumped it, it moved, but we had to get them out. There was no other option, and she had to be able to breathe. So it was just an urgent situation, but it wasn't hopeless, and that was what was important.
Have you seen them since
I have not. I've called to check on them, and they're both still with us, and so like I said, they have the opportunity hopefully to fully recover, I hope, and that's the important thing. That's
This has got to be, given the rescue effort at the time of your use, how are you feeling after having been a part of this? It's got to be an emotional situation for you too.
Well, I feel awesome. Obviously, I'm standing here in front of you guys. I appreciate that, but I was not the only person there at all. Again, had that young man not jacked that car up, it'd have been a completely different situation, I believe, for the grandmother at least. And then obviously with the firemen and the paramedics and emergency personnel, this was not just me alone. But I'm thankful I was there. I'm thankful I had the opportunity to be a part of it and hopefully be part of a successful resolution to a really scary situation.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you guys.